Hey, I think I'm streaming now, right? Let me check on my phone if I'm really streaming or not. We have a very old-timey setup here, so. Oh, yep. Yeah, I think I am streaming. What the second was? Apparently. Let's go see some YouTube vids, right? Huge fan of
It's the
Asmongold.
Hostinger Black.
What's happening? I'm not going to see these ads. Sorry. Didn't I use ad blocker? Don't know.
I keep seeing clips of The View. Now, if you guys don't know what show this is a show for bored, neurotic housewives that day drink and spend all day watching daytime television, and most of them probably hate men, which really they hate men because they hate themselves. And so that's it. Show's about to be canceled. No, it's not. This show isn't going to get canceled. There's no way it's going to get canceled. Do you know how many losers watch this show? Tons of people watch this show. Think about how many disaffected, disenfranchised, angry house moms there are. And they're all watching The View being like, ha, eggs.
Asmon, it's not just angry housewives, it's also angry men. Pussy-whipped men. Sorry. I think I'm gonna get. I would fear getting demonetized if I had monetization, but I can just say that it's just pussy-whipped men who watch this show because they want approval of their wives. All right, let's move forward with it.
Exactly. Yes. That's what they're doing. Yes. She's my wife. Yeah, exactly. A lot of losers. True. Yeah, they're truing it. You go, girl. Exactly. Bitter
We
hags.
went from Walter Cronkite, basically, to this guy, Joe Rogan, who believes in dragons. I checked it. He
believes in dragons?
He believes in dragons.
Did you triple source that?
Yes, I did. And he also thinks that the
Even she thinks.
Okay? First of all, what's wrong with believing in dragons? We believe in all kinds of things. We believe in gods, we believe in prophets, we believe in everything. So what's wrong with believing in dragons? Dragons are awesome. Believe in dragons if you have to.
Thinks it's stupid. Whoopi Goldberg is the queen of stupid ass shit of saying, and even she thinks this.
Look at her haircut though. Did you see this here? Let me zoom in if I can. Look at this. Oh my god, is that a haircut? Oh, jeez. Alright.
This is stupid.
dragons, I guess,
Alright, let me set it up properly. I'm actually disturbing Asmon's face here, so I'm gonna move up a little bit. How do I move up my camera? Yeah, wish I could move it up. Can I move it up? Let me see, sorry. Oh, webcam is locked, that's why. There you go. There you go. Now you can see both of us. And it's more important that you see Asmon more than me because he's a seasoned reactor. I'm not. So I'm trying my best. Look at my t-shirt. I'm not even prepared for this, right? The watermelon guy. All right. Let's see.
dinosaur type of animals.
Yeah.
Oh, well, let's clarify here. Oh, he believes in dinosaurs. Oh, what a fucking retard. This guy still believes in dinosaurs? Well, everybody knows that all the fossils in the ground of dinosaurs, they're just put in there by Jewish people to make the Christians question their faith. Obviously, right? Living di- Yeah, this is, I mean, haven't you been on 4chan?
Earth when people did.
Rogan really leaning into this one by changing his ex-bio to, quote, dragon believer. Joe Concha is a Fox News contributor, and he joins us now. Joe, this is so up Joe Rogan's alley in terms of what he finds funny, to, first of all, be called a dragon believer, and also to be accused of being an unreliable source of information.
As if The View is, like, so if you're getting community noted legal noted by your own production team.
At this point, I'm sorry to interrupt you there, Asman. At this point, no media, even in your America, I'm from Bangladesh, so it's in South Asia, no media is reliable. Every media has an agenda. Every media, every source, every human being has an agenda of their own. So you can't rely on any of the media, any of those people at all. So that's that.
Multiple times a week, and you're complaining that somebody else isn't a reliable source of information? Ooh, I wonder what the real problem is.
By the ladies of The View. So what is your reaction to all of this?
Oh, yes, Carly. We should absolutely trust The View.
Oh,
and
yeah.
not the guy who...
Also, you cannot even trust Fox News, just for saying. All right? You can trust Fox News as well. We're just watching them because it's now very entertaining to watch Fox News like this, so that is why it's being watched.
revolutionized the world with electric cars, SpaceX. I could go on with the accomplishments of Elon Musk. I have a question. Do stupid people get...
I don't know what that has to do with Joe Rogan, but yeah, sure.
Accomplishments of Elon Musk. I have a question. Do stupid people get to a point in life where they realize that they're, stupid? Because this is what panic...
They do. And that's like, so I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen, and it's like, and here's a good parallel. Have you ever had a time where like you're like fucking with your dog, where like you put it in front of a mirror, and then like the dog is barking at the mirror, or it's mad at the...
What happened to the sound? Hello.
Mirror or cat, and then eventually it figures out, wait a minute.
Dude, what happened to the sound? There's some sound is there. Let me fix it up. I'm doing this for the first time, guys. Please do keep it, alright? Stop the sound. Audio input capture is alright, this audio is not. So, let me see.
Right? Like,
Should never have stepped away from the monitor. This is what happens when you step away from the monitor. What happened? Oh my god. I've just set the stream again. Can you even hear me? Jesus. Alright. Let's try this. It should fix it up. Yeah, just fix it up. Alright, sorry. Well, I'll show you my streaming setup when I'm famous enough, but you'll understand why this happened later. Alright. Let's go back.
have you guys had that happen where like he figures it out, like the dog figures out, oh wow, or like, he's like chasing his tail and he's like, wait a minute, oh, it's my tail, fuck. Imagine that, but with a person. Yeah.
sounds like in legacy media. I've said this before in this program. It's worth repeating again, because
He just said, the Fox News reporter said legacy media. Bro, you're part of the legacy media. So, don't know what you're on about there.
it's so disturbing. The View is under the ABC News umbrella. ABC
wow.
News is run by a woman named Dana Walden. Dana Walden is Kamala Harris's very best friend.
ABC stands for always be lying.
They lived right
Well, that's not what C stands for. Sorry to...
near each other in Brentwood, California when she was a senator there. Dana Walden set up Kamala Harris on a blind date with Doug Emhoff, who she obviously is now married to.
Oh, wow.
And now this is what the result is of Dana Walden running ABC News. You have people like Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg under the ABC News umbrella,
Look at the look. It's all a bunch of
old women, all old women, right? All old people really showing up to see the show. And probably there are no youngsters who are actually fans of these people. I don't know half of them who they are. So
girls, and he's there with his fucking wife.
that one of the chats said that ABC is always be crying, and I tend to agree with them there.
He's probably there with maybe his wife. This guy's, oh, fuck. Yeah, I had to be here, right? This is it. Like, it's all girls, man.
Their minds on a daily basis. And it's actually kind of fun to watch. But at some point, people are going to be like, all right, I don't want to listen to this anymore because, quite frankly, I can't trust you people because you told us that Donald Trump was Hitler, and now apparently Hitler is going to be the...
Again, you look at Whoopi Goldberg's hairstyle. I mean, can't take her serious solutions like that. I'm very sorry.
47th president of the United States. Go figure.
Well, that would be
at some point, I would argue that point is already here. I mean, look at the ratings from the election and beyond. I mean, people are not watching this stuff, and I broaden that out to all the mainstream media collectively. I'm going to take a different tact on this, though, Joe. Shouldn't conservatives be celebrating this cacophony because it shows that there are factions on the left that still refuse to acknowledge ultimately why Trump won? And
the only thing that I'm surprised about The View with is the fact that they acknowledge that the results of the election are legitimate. That's the only thing that I find surprising about them.
The reasons for it, and so
I wouldn't have expected.
Generally, when a person loses, especially in the last few years, they've been known to complain a lot about it. When Donald Trump lost, he said the election was rigged, and they were actually complaining after Donald Trump won this time around because they were saying that Trump said that everybody should not go and vote because apparently they insinuated that the votes were already given, right? So they did complain a little bit. Not The View, though, but they did.
Looking ahead to 2026, that bodes well for the Republicans if they still haven't figured out why the Republicans won.
It's a great point, Todd. I mean, I said this on this program. I'll say it again. Before the election, you guys know this, I said that I couldn't see how Kamala Harris could beat Donald Trump when Donald Trump was winning over black voters to the amount that he was, Latino voters to the amount that he did. Obviously, we also had the union voters, rank and file. He was winning those over as well. We saw the Teamsters in terms of their internal polling.
Anybody who thought that Trump was going to lose, I'm sorry. You got lost in the sauce.
That is actually very true. Because I live in Bangladesh, so that is your South Asian country that generally doesn't have anything to do with US politics, but how US politics goes actually impacts the whole world's economy. Even I saw that Donald Trump was coming. Even I did, from all the way far from here. Because I've seen that Kamala Harris was focusing on the ads on the mainstream media, the interview shows, the Jimmy Fallon's, the Jimmy Kimmels of the world. But people don't watch that anymore. People don't actually watch that anymore. So people are watching your YouTube, the podcast and everything. And Donald Trump identified it correctly that it's better to go on Joe Rogan than to go on Jimmy Fallon. Because more people watch and listen to Joe Rogan than Jimmy Fallon these days. So he was bang on that strategy.
You did. You got lost in the sauce. That's just, you did for a while. I never said I thought he was going to lose. I said there was a chance he lost the popular vote, but that's it. I was actually talking to my dad last night about the minus 700K thing. I was.
That he was winning there big time. Yeah. And when you win those three Democratic strongholds, the Democrat nominee, in this case Kamala Harris, didn't have any chance. So, that's the thing. Like, they should understand that Donald Trump won for a reason, that he resonated with the very viewers that they seek to bring in. And, I'll just leave it there.
I wonder if we're going to see Kamala Harris ever again. Or if this is just going to be like, you lost to Orange Hitler. Like, we don't want to look at you anymore.
But it's not just.
I feel like there's.
But it's not just that she lost. It's the whole ideology of overly liberal media. They lost, right? It's not just she lost. It's everybody involved. They lost.
No way she can come back from this. Most VPs go away. She's still like, yeah, she lost worse than Hillary.
Did she?
That's impressive.
Yeah, she did.
It really is, because
Actually, to
Hillary.
to be completely fair, Kamala wasn't there from the first place, right? Joe Biden was supposed to run in place of Kamala as he was president. But since in the middle of the race, Joe got outed. Joe left the race, had to leave the race. That's where Kamala stepped in, right? And that's why I believe that she didn't have enough time to actually, catch up with everything that was going on.
Hillary had 30 years of being an obnoxious bitch in the public eyes, and she only had maybe 10. That's really impressive. Yeah, she racked up them hours.
That Trump resonates with people, while people like Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg, Whoopi Goldberg, went after a Staten Island bakery because they wouldn't make her a cake because their boiler went down? I mean, come on. I mean,
what do you?
I mean, this is insane. And at some point, people are going to be like, all right, I'm done with you guys. I'm done.
All right, really quickly, continuing with the post-mortem here. Here is former NBC News anchor Brian Williams. He was on with Seth Meyers last night. Watch this.
It is tough love time for the Democratic Party. I think it needs to be stripped down and rebuilt. I think it's insulting when members of the working class, which the Democratic Party has lost entirely in our lifetimes.
Well, here's the thing, is that the Democratic Party has turned into the party of celebrities and socialites. So now being working class is like seen as a negative thing, because it's like a luxury value that people think that they have. They're like, oh yeah, we're part of the cool kids club. And guess what? With somebody like old Joe Biden, oh, well, we know Joe, he's been around forever. He's on our side. We're the workers, right? Sleepy Joe, but at least he's dreaming of something that people like. Here's the thing.
That's such a good burn. Yeah, I've noticed that as well, that the people that Democrat Party is trying to appeal to are more on the side of being very wealthy, very well educated, very posh, people who listen to Beyonce. I believe a lot of people listen to Beyonce, but they don't listen to her for her expertise on politics. They listen to her because of music, right? So one of the things that I believe that they did wrong was actually getting celebrity endorsements, because in this day and age, the celebrity age is over. People don't care about celebrities anymore like they used before. So if you're getting an endorsement for an obsolete class of people, you're not going to get any, you're going to get obsolete results. As simple as that. As simple as that.
And that's the reason why people voted for old Joe. Bernie, yeah, exactly. They don't give a fuck. Now it's the party, it's party of socialites. That's it. She accused a bakery of that won't make a cake for her because of her politics, when it was actually the boiler problem, so they can't make the cake. So it's the classic, oh, wow, they hate me because I'm X, Y, or Z, but it's actually just some completely normal reason that you've made yourself the main character in their lives, and they're, like, not even aware of it. That basically what happened? The cake was a lie?
The cake was a lie.
Memes are becoming reality very fast. They spent so much fucking money on her. I know. So it's like, how many times have you guys seen... Like, I've seen a lot of tweets and messages of people that were, they were saying, oh, if you think the economy is bad, well, just get a better job. We'll just work harder.
It's super funny when people think that just getting a job is like this, right? Just submit an application, you get a job. So a little bit insight into my world. I'm working as an HR guy in a company. Yeah, HR, everybody hates the HR, but I am actually in learning and development, so I turn it into hiring or firing. But even I, with my 10 years of experience in Indian development, and I can guarantee you in this field, nobody is close to me than the depth I've gone to in learning development. I can switch my job, right? I'm doing this on a weekend because I'm tired of working at that company. So even I cannot switch job even with 10 years of expertise, and I'll be perfectly suited for some roles. Right? It's not easy to get a job. It is not. I'm sure as we will elaborate on it further.
Just make more money. Like, oh wow, eggs are expensive for you. Oh wow, that's such a big problem. It's like, yeah, it is. You think they're gonna give a fuck about your social issue if they can't afford food?
Absolutely.
Don't you understand Maslow's hierarchy of needs? This is like basic psychology.
It is.
But they just can't figure it out. They don't understand. It's literally the most basic concept, and they can't even realize it. It's the party of educated people. It's the party of educated people who look down on uneducated people. And so if you become a party of people who look down on other people, don't expect them to vote for you. That's it. You can't look.
Wait, I'll get that again for you. Wait a second. Hope the stream doesn't get interrupted. You just keep on watching the video, all right?
Look down on somebody and then be like, oh wow, why aren't you saying that I should run the country? Yeah, I wonder why.
To insist the economy is doing great. I think the biggest unforced error of the Biden administration by far was the border. To tell people it's not a problem is insulting.
I think that Kamala Harris talking all that bullshit about Israel probably did more damage to her than the border did, because it demotivated people that were the extreme left, right? The ones that were very, very vocal, very radical. It demotivated them from voting for her. I think it did more damage to her than anything, because every single person, like not every single one, but I feel like almost every person who like Palestine was like a single issue problem for them, every single one of them probably would have been a Kamala Harris voter. I think so.
He also said that he wants to know whose idea it was to have Joe Biden run for re-election at a 38% approval rating when he is the age that he is.
I'll be quick, guys. We talked about this. I've talked about this on the air well before the election. I love hearing this stuff after the election. But yeah, the border is a big issue. It affects every community in this country. The economy.
Well, then people are like, oh, well, if you don't want your job taken by an illegal immigrant, just get a better job. It's like, okay, well, how about you get a better job because you're not a politician anymore? You didn't win the vote. You know, it's pretty fucking simple. What a surprise.
Say it's great when people look at their bank accounts and say, no, it's not. And they go to the grocery store and they say, I'm paying twice as much as I did under Donald Trump. So why should I vote for this administration again? So the analysis is correct.
I went to the grocery store yesterday. I spent like $70 and I got like cookies and like 5 or 7 things. Like I didn't get anything crazy. I bought a bag of beef jerky, but it was the store brand beef jerky. Yeah, one basket, $70. No, it was like, so you know, like in a shopping cart where they have like the thing where you put the kids in like the in the seat. I filled that up, and then I had like 2 12-packs of soda in the cart, and that was it. $70 fucking dollars.
But after the fact, I kind of find funny because we talked about it before the election, and that's the whole ball game, unfortunately. And I'm sorry about my voice, by the way. I'm fighting a bit of a cold, we'll call it, and just trying to fight through it. So
if you have kids, you're fighting a cold from October through April. Everybody knows that.
That's true.
Joe
when
Concha.
school starts, you're going to be fighting those colds.
Thank
That's right.
you.
Feel better, Joe. Well, at least it's the weekend, so hopefully you can rest and relax. Thank you for joining us, waking up early.
Vaxxed?
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here.
He's not vaxxed. If he was, he'd be dead, obviously. Yeah, I think them trying to attack Joe Rogan, you know why they're attacking Joe Rogan? It's because Joe Rogan is eating their market share and he's making their influence less important. So it has nothing to do with like Joe Rogan's politics. It has nothing to do with Joe Rogan's viewpoints on anything. It has everything to do with self-serving behavior that is being done for the benefit of themselves. That's why they want to do it. They want to delegitimize him so people turn on the television again. Well, that's not going to happen. I'm sorry. And here's another thing. Look at all the people in the audience here. Wait a second. It was like right before this, right? Take a look at, where the fuck did it go? I want to see where they showed the audience of like all the husbands. Yeah, here we go. Up. See if I can play it here. What I'm trying to get at is the fact that all these people are old. It's not like there's a lot of young people that are watching this show. Like, I can't imagine a lot of 19-year-old girls that are like sitting down to watch The View. Yeah, they're boomers. Exactly. They're old. Like, look at this. Look, bro, like, look at that. They're all old as hell. They're all old as hell. Bro, this show... Oh, it's not good. Wine moms? No, they're not wine moms. They're wine grandmas. They were wine moms 15 years ago. It's nuts. So, yeah, they're mad as hell. They're mad as hell. They're losing their entire fucking... I'm going to link y'all the video. It's nuts. Hag maxing. Yeah, bro, if you want to be a hag maxer, go to the live broadcasting of The View. Holy fuck, man.
How do Democrats, and frankly, how does legacy media need to change the way it thinks about getting information? I mean, a lot of the voters who went out and voted for Donald Trump, that so many people are wondering what happened here, they're not watching, frankly, this show. They're not reading the New York Times. They're not consuming media that way. And
it seems that's the case. Yes, and this is true to an extent that it was previously unknown.
Trump campaign found those voters where they live. So how do Democrats need to change the way they communicate to voters, if you think that's part of the problem?
For sure. I mean, I think all of us have to come to grips with legacy media is just not as important as it thinks it is.
Fucking based. Oh my God. Is there a better way that you could say it? Abso-fucking-lutely. Yep. That's the truth. I think that a lot of people have grown to be very resentful of legacy media. I think that it's like very popular to hate on Fox News, like, for example, because like they can be very blatant with their biases. But I actually think that all legacy media is completely biased and totally corrupt. I find all of them to be bad. And also, by the way, I think that in a lot of cases, the media for like alternative media is also biased. But the difference is that alternative media presents itself as a bias, whereas legacy media presents itself oftentimes as, we're journalists, we don't have political opinions, we just tell you the facts. By the way, here's our propaganda. That's the issue. You know, old people still watch legacy media? Well, yeah, but what happens with old people?
It is to you, it is to me. That's a relatively small group of people who rely on us for their information. And you have to go into the world as it is, not as you wish it to be. And
that's holy shit. Yeah, exactly. So, wow.
Basically, the way people get information is shattered into 20, 30 different pieces.
Well, the reason why people aren't using legacy media is because people don't trust legacy media. Because legacy media has misrepresented so many things to where the accountability, or like not really accountability, but like the credibility is totally destroyed. And so because they don't have any credibility anymore, why would anybody watch them? It really just makes sense.
And so if you just look empirically at the numbers, Joe Rogan's more important than any of us. He just has a much bigger, hyper-connected audience.
The guy sighing in the background?
Has a much bigger, hyper-connected audience.
And he's right, though, right? He's absolutely accurate. And I find it to be kind of funny. Season Cope, yeah, they're fucking pissed. And it's like, I would be mad if I was them too. But the thing is that, like, I think the problem is that there is such a tremendous amount of inauthenticity from legacy media that why would anybody trust them? And I think also, like, they take themselves very, very seriously.
that listens to his every word. So maybe listen to Joe Rogan and kind of understand, like, what is he talking about? What are the guests that he has on? What are the issues that they care about? Realize that
and I think also, like, so when you think about like Comcast owns a media company as a strategic goal, because this media company can help Comcast align itself better with achieving political goals. So the reason why I think a lot of these media companies are going to be losing a lot of valuation now is because it's very evident that many of these media companies were very outspoken and very against Trump. So if you have this machine and the machine is made to do something and you use the machine and it doesn't work, what does that make your machine? It makes it less valuable. And I think that's what's happened. Is that now this machine and the use case of the machine is now put into question. And so whereas previously being able to control and have ownership of these platforms would more or less guarantee you a foothold or at least a platform where you could establish some degree of political control. If you can't own that political control, then what value do these companies bring? What do these companies do? Nothing. And so, of course, why would they have any value? Do you think they're now the new Fox? Well, what I'm saying is that all news companies are owned by people that the news company is going to act in its best in those people who own them in their best interest. That's my point. So the value of owning a news company or a news station is, of course, yeah, you can make money with it, but on top of that, it gives you a form of power. But if that power is called into question because it was exercised and then ineffective, then the value of the company is less. You see kind of how this comes together? Comcast isn't calling the shots, let's be real. Well, somebody is. The moment the news company started pushing an agenda and not reporting unbiased news, they should have been taken off the air. It's impossible to do that, realistically. Don't forget, all these companies are funded by pharmaceutical companies advertising on them, and they're about to theoretically go away when Trump takes office. Well, that's what I'm saying, right? Is like these news companies, they have a vested interest in things going a certain way because of pharmaceuticals or anything else. And also just the people that own them, their best interest of the people that own them. So if you have a time where this big legacy media company gets outplayed by Joe Rogan, baldy in his basement in Austin, Texas, well, then why the fuck did you spend $10 million on this just to lose?
Gravity of right-wing discourse is now taking place on X. It's not Fox. X is what matters. Elon Musk is now, I wrote about this yesterday.
Fox fell off when they got rid of Tucker Carlson. I think that's what happened, is that I think that they lost the trust of a lot of like grassroots Republican conservatives when they got rid of Tucker Carlson. And like, I'm not even saying that it was a bad decision to get rid of him. I think they had to get rid of him because of that lawsuit, right? But at the end of the day, that's what the effect was. And as soon as that happened, I think that they lost a lot of credit.
Guys, I'm so sorry. Actually, my wife came in, so she was away for a while. She came in. That's why I have to step up. But I'm setting a really bad example, right? Like, excuse it when he left his stream for a bit. You know, I won't do the same. That was just a one-time thing, all right? Okay, what is this legacy media realize that? Let's watch it from the beginning. All right, I'll just watch it from here. It's just not that far off.
I don't say never, but like, I feel like...
Look at what I'm eating here. It's called pita. It's a delicacy in our country. You make it with rice flour and sweet tooth. It's pretty fun to eat here. I'm just introducing you to my cuisine, our country's cuisine is weird to you.
Like, Tucker Carlson used to be like 80% of the clips that I would see about Fox News. And like now, every once in a while I see like a Sean Hannity clip. Other than that, I basically never hear about Fox News anymore. So yeah, they had to walk their talk. Sure, right? But I'm saying like that's the outcome of it.
That's the thing. Even on these legacy media, nobody really cared about Yeah, I guess a lot of people cared about the news per se, but everybody cared about the people presenting the news more than the news itself. You know what I'm saying? Just like how Oprah got her show back from a very local news channel, and it was about her from then on, right? It's kind of similar.
The video explaining exactly this. It's compared German legacy media. Yeah, I don't know about German media, though. I'm not sure about that.
Arguably the most powerful civilian in the history of the country.
Right,
he controls, it's not Fox. X is what matters.
Yeah.
Elon Musk is now, I wrote about this yesterday, arguably the most powerful civilian in the history of the country. He controls...
J.D. Rockefeller, maybe, but like, I could see that. I mean, Elon Musk has a massive amount of power. It's true.
Controls information flow. He controls multiple businesses.
Do you remember when Elon Musk bought Twitter? The first time he bought Twitter with the meme of "let it sink in," and everybody was saying that if they're going to leave Twitter, which is now X, but they really didn't. Twitter is the biggest media platform there is, so people aren't going to leave that easily.
He has the president's ear. He's going to be in charge of some newfangled organization to gut government spending. We've not seen a person with that kind of clout across those sectors. But
he just used clout. Just saying.
I think that we can say that we haven't seen a person with that kind of clout that's as well and openly like stated to be like that. Because people are coming up with examples like George Soros or like, Rothschilds or something like that. But like a lot of those people, they operate in the shadows. Whereas like with Elon Musk, he just comes out and he's like, yeah, we're trying to make this happen.
That is true.
Where his real power comes from is X. People thought he was an idiot.
He's more public in a way, right? Elon Musk is more public, more than these other really influential people.
When he bought X because he lost a lot of money. He's got a lot of money. And now he happens to have the most powerful platform.
Man, there's somebody that got really mad at me for saying that.
On the right. And politics is downstream from information. And there's just a whole...
The actual quote is from Culture, but, you could say they're the same thing. Sure.
Whole new information ecosystem out there. So for us, for you, for Democrats, for Republicans, you have to understand that you now are going to have to basically navigate 20 or 30 different parts of the ecosystem if you want to connect with the American people who vote.
Damn, what are they having a Zoom call for a support group about getting all fucking fired? Holy shit, look at them all.
Yeah.
That sucks, man. Ooh, not so good. Fake news media. There it is. MSNBC ratings have cratered 50% since the election. Oh my fucking God. Give me the latest on this. MSNBC viewership drops. Oh my. Wow. Comcast put MSNBC and Oprah founded Oxygen. Oh, I remember Oxygen. Was that for women?
That's a lot happened since the election, didn't there? Oh my God, are they really getting sued or is it just a meme? I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I feel like that was for women in like the late 90s or the 2000s. It's probably catching up to them. Layoff includes top stars. Maybe they can take a lesson from Don Lemon on what not to do. Yeah, true. Interesting. Comcast is putting MSNBC up for sale. CNN also announced massive layoffs coming potentially. The times are changing. Well, and this is like, remember what I said before about how like games media and like games journalism is like a mining canary for like what's going to happen with all journalism, is because like now you don't need this like massive structure to communicate information anymore. You don't need that anymore. You just need a camera and a fucking an internet connection. That's it.
Microphone.
And so now, and also mono opinion. I think people are tired of hearing, basically like people are looking for opinions that are, let's say, God damn it, give me a minute. Let's say here and onward, but legacy media may only present opinions that are inside of this little square. And so what's happening is that as people are looking for opinions that are outside of what's presented in mainstream media, they're going to places that are outside of mainstream media. And so instead of looking at Fox News or like, let's say watching MSNBC, I bet there's a lot of people.
I think, yeah, Almond is absolutely right. People don't want to just be contained in that information sphere. They want to go either both directions for their content, for their news, for their opinions these days.
This is actually, I think, what happens. I bet there are a lot of people who, instead of watching like local, or not local, but like, mainstream liberal media, a lot of them probably go and they watch Hasan because they're like, you know what? This guy represents what I believe closer than what the media does. Why? Well, because they agree with him. And so it's simple. And they agree with him more than they agree with the legacy media. So what I think happens is the same thing with also right-wing people, is that they might not necessarily agree with Fox News, but they might really like Tucker Carlson. So what do? Well, they go even farther and they find him on these edges. And the issue is that the companies are making all of this fucking money, but they're really providing a very narrow viewpoint on the way things are. So...
Right, and their viewpoint isn't legitimate, and well, legitimate is a bad word, but just so that you know, English is my second language, so some things might get a little later. Well, what I was trying to say is that it's not legitimate. It's the fact that it's bought and paid for. It's biased. It's of course biased because in America, what I see is that there are two types of media: Fox News and there are your CNN and MSNBCs. So these are biased medias, perpetually biased since the beginning. MSNBC and CNN are for Democrats. Right.
And I understand I mentioned Hasan, so people want to get mad about it, but I'm just using him as an example, okay? Like, hopefully you guys can understand that. Like, I'm using him as an example. Like, there's plenty of other guys that do commentary. Like, Central Committee. There are people probably that watch him because they don't trust mainstream media, so they're going to watch this guy instead. It's a very simple idea. Don't get too caught up on the individuals, right? And also people that watch, I hope they're not watching me for this kind of stuff, but the fact is that a lot of people have. If I look at the amount of people that have been watching a lot of these videos for the election and stuff and like different political stuff, it's been a crazy